Hello everyone, you are welcome to Guru Gedara program maths lesson. So, are you ready to the lesson? I hope so. So, you have to be ready with especially with your pencil and ruler today, because we are going to do some drawings. Okay. What is our topic? You can see the location of the place. Okay. We are going to see what are the things we are going to learn through this lesson. Okay. What are they? At the end of this lesson, you will be able to find the direction of the place with respect to another place based on main directions, and you will be able to illustrate the location of place with respect to another place with a sketch. So, we are going to do two things today. We are going to explain location of a place and we are going to sketch it out. Okay. Before that, I want you to revise the things you know about the directions. What can you see here? Yes, it's a picture. What could you see there? You see some camels, and is it daytime or night time? It is night time. So, ancients used to travel in deserts, they use of camels. They didn't travel in daytime, they used to travel in night time. Why is that? Because daytime is too hot, it's unable to go through the desert. So, they decide or they do travel during night time. How could they find their direction? Do they have any roads those days? No. Have they any landmarks? No. So, how could they find them? They could see the clear sky, they see the sparkling stars, they see the patterns there. So, according to the star patterns, they find their way. So, stars shows the way. Okay, you have some idea about ancient how found their way or their direction. So, other than that, I want to discuss with you today's situation. How do you find the way or your direction? Do you use stars these days? No, you use a instrument or a small gadget like this. What is it? You know that. That's the compass. I know many of you are Girl Guides and Scouts. You use this instrument frequently. Actually, it's an essential instrument that you use. So, this pointer indicate north direction. If you know the north direction, you can find the rest of the directions easily. Do you need this instrument all the way to find the directions? I don't think so. So, in the daytime, you can easily find the direction. Use of who? The behavior of the sun help us to decide the directions easily. We will see this small animation. Sun rises at east. Then what happened? Sunset at west. So, easily you can define east and west. So, if your right hand side to your west side, when your left hand side to your east, you are facing to south direction. So, you face into south direction, your back side is to north. So, you are aware about basically basic or main 4 directions. Shall we write them in a diagram? Main directions, who are they? Read it with me. North, east, south, west. Those are the main 4 directions. When we denote north, east, south, west, we can use capital letter of north, first letter that is N, the first letter of east capital E, then first letter of south capital S, and to denote west we can use capital letter W. Okay. So, these are the main 4 directions. What else you know about directions? Do you know some other directions? I know. I can hear you. Yes. Shall we check them? So, there are some other directions. They are called as subdirections. Okay. When we talk about subdirections, I want to tell you something very, very important in this lesson. So, even though we have main 4 directions, among those 4, we have to give priority to north to and south. That's why I indicate those 2 with red arrowheads. It's very important. Even though we have 4 main directions, we give priority to north to and south. Okay. This is the first subdirection. So, it is in between north and east. So, the priority is given to north. So, we write the first subdirection as northeast. Next subdirection is in between east and south. The priority is given to south direction. So, we call it as southeast. Then subdirection between south and west, priority is given to south, we call it as southwest. Finally, subdirection between north and west, priority is given to north, so it is called as northwest. So, main directions are north, east, southwest, subdirections northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. Good. So, these things you already know, I think. Many of you experience these main directions and subdirections. We have to practice this bit. So, your first review exercise is related to this concept. We will see. I prepare a small presentation bit similar to your review exercise. We will see that. Okay. You can see some figures, well, gate, classroom, canteen, science lab, office, and at the middle you could see Hishan. Okay. We are going to compare the position of Hishan related to each these places. First, shall we consider the well and Hishan? Imagine now you are at the well. You looking at Hishan. So, the direction of Hishan as seen from well. So, Hishan is seen from, yes, yes, he is seen from south of the well. Move on. Next, we are going to compare the position of Hishan as seen from the gate. Yes, we will try to identify the direction. Now, you are at the gate, you looking at Hishan. What is the direction? Yes, you are correct. So, Hishan is seen from southwest direction of the gate. Then we will see from the classroom. Now, you are at the classroom, you have to look at the Hishan. What is the direction? Hishan is seen from which direction now? He is seen from northwest of the classroom. Good. Next, you are at canteen. Now, what happened? Now, look at Hishan from canteen. Hishan is seen from which direction? North of the canteen. Next, you have to move to which place? You have to go to science lab. Now you are at science lab. You are looking at Hishan. Yes, Hishan is seen from which direction? It is northeast of the science lab. Finally, you go to the office. Now you look at Hishan. So, compare the position of Hishan from the office. Yes, Hishan is seen from which direction? Exactly at east of the office. So, I think you are okay with main directions and subdirections. You have practiced that with me. Good. Okay. Then it is the most important thing start. These are the previous things you know. So, this is today's lesson special part starting now. We have to talk about the angles related to or in between directions, main directions and subdirections. We will see. Okay. These are the main direction. So, we are going to find the angle between adjacent main directions. So, what is mean by adjacent? Adjacent means close by, next to each other. You know the meaning, right? So, adjacent angles. You learn adjacent angles in first term in angle lesson. Good. I hope you could remember that. So, here we are comparing adjacent main directions. So, the angle between adjacent main direction 90 degrees, or you can call it as right angle. Not only the angles related between main direction and sub directions, we will move on to identify the angles in subdirections. Here we go. These are the subdirections. Okay. We are going to compare the angle between adjacent main direction and a subdirection. So, subdirection is exactly at the middle of adjacent main direction. So, it is should be half of the angle as earlier. So, it was 90 degrees between main adjacent directions. So, it's half of that is 45 degrees. You should keep remember these things, very important in here. So, angle here is 45 degrees. Now then, I hope you are okay with the main direction, subdirections and the angles between adjacent main directions and angle between adjacent main direction and a subdirection. Then we have to move to the next part of this lesson. We will see that. Okay. We are going to find the direction of place with respect to another place based on main direction. So, it means it makes sense. Earlier we discussed the locations or the directions exactly to a main direction to a subdirection. Here somewhat different. So, we will see what we have to discuss here. Okay. What could you see? Oh, there is a tower, that is P. Now, we are going to observe P from O. First thing, we have to join the points O and P. So, we are going to find the direction of P as seen from O. Join the points O and P. Then what? We have to check in between which main direction is P. So, it is between north and east. Then we measure the angle starting from north. I told you earlier, the priority is given to north direction rather than east. So, we measure the angle starting from north. So, what is it? According to this, it is 50 degrees. It is 50 degrees. So, how can we explain the direction of P as seen from O? it is 50 from north to east. The angle is measured from north direction. So, we call this 50 degrees from north to east. So, we can write it as, in short way, to denote the north we use capital letter N. The angle mentioned, that is 50 degrees, to east direction we use capital letter E. So, we can say capital N 50 degrees, capital E. Okay. We will check on to another example like this. Okay. Here we were given a certain direction, and we are going to represent in diagram or sketch it out. So, the direction of house is capital S 40 degrees, capital E from O. So, the house is seen from the position O. So, the angle should start from south direction to which way? To east. So, what is the magnitude of the angle? That is 40 degrees. We will try to sketch it out. So, it is in between south and east. The angle is measured from south direction, that is 40 degrees, and we draw the line. Here we go. Here is the house. That is the given direction. We sketch and show where is it. Shall we move on? Okay. This meaning of this, the short form S 40 degrees, E means 40 degrees from south to east. You know that. Another one. We are going to locate a coconut tree. We are going to represent or find the direction of the coconut tree according to this diagram. So, now we are at O. So, where is it? To which direction? So, it is 65 degrees. Where to where? From north to west. We will draw that. So, it is in between north and west. The angle starts from north direction. The magnitude of the angle is 65 degrees. Good. So, we draw the line. Oh, there is the coconut tree. So, we can say this as coconut tree, its direction 65 degrees from north to west. Is that clear? So, in all the cases we measure the direction or measure the angle starting from either from north or south directions. Very important, because the priority is given to north to and south. Okay. Up to there, we discuss how to explain a certain thing as a direction. Which direction are they? But here onwards, we are going to lock the location with the distance. So, we are going to sketch it out with not only with direction, with the distance too. So, we can find specific place or the location with the distance and direction. We will see. Okay. What could you see? There is a horse at a position H. So, we are looking at the horse from O. The direction of horse as seen from O is, we will see. Okay. First of all, we join the points O and H. Then we have to check the angles. We will see what happened here. Okay, it is exactly between main directions west and south. So, we can measure the angle either from west direction or you can measure the angle from south direction. What to do now? Which angle you take? Which one is the suitable one? Which one is the correct one? Yes, I mentioned you earlier, even though it is measured from west or south, we have to give the priority to south direction. So, the correct angle for represent the direction, here is the angle measured from south direction. So, we can say the direction of horse as seen from H is 35 degrees from south to west. How do you write that in short way? So, you write capital S 35 degrees, capital W. We will see another example like this. Earlier, we just mentioned the direction only. Did we mention about the distance? No. We know horse is to this direction. Which direction? Yes, we are going to check with the distance and direction, both exact position or exact place where the horse is. Earlier we found the horse 35 degrees from south to west. Yes, 35 degrees. The distance now 25 meters. So, we can exactly find horse if we walk along 25 meters to the direction 35 degrees from south to west. Here we go, this is the horse. So, for the location, we should mention direction and the distance both. So, we can note it in short way 25 meters, comma, capital S, the angle 35 degrees, capital W. Okay. You have a treasure box. You have to find the direction of the treasure box first. We will see. First step is we have to join the point O and T. Then you have to measure the angle. It's exactly between south and east. You could measure two angles. So, here also again one angle from east, the other angle from south. Which one is the correct one? Yes. Priority is given to south. Start the angle from the south, that is 12 degrees. So, the direction of T as seen from O is 12 degrees from south to east. Good. If the location, not only the direction, you have to mention the distance. Here, the treasure box is 128 meters to the direction 12 degrees from south to east. So, first we mark the direction with the relevant angles. We will see how could we do that. First, we identify the angle we should mark in between south and east. Here the angle should start with south direction. The magnitude of the angle here is 12 degrees. Then we draw the line. So, the treasure box is somewhere along this direction. What is the distance from O to treasure box? That is 128 meters. So, treasure box is 120 meters from O to the direction 12 degrees from south to east. We can write it 128 meters. We can write it as 128 meters, capital S, 12 degrees, capital E. Okay. Shall we revise the things we learned here from the beginning? First of all, we revise the previous things you know about directions, main directions, and we discuss about the sub-directions. Then we try to identify angle between adjacent main direction, that was 90 degrees, and then we try to identify the angle between adjacent main direction and a sub-direction. So, it was exactly half of earlier, it was 45 degrees. Then we discuss about the location. So, for the location, we should show the direction and we should tell how far is it or the distance. So, we lock the place with direction and distance. So, these are the things we learn. So, now I think you can complete the remaining exercise of your textbook. first exercise you did with me is related to the review exercise, but there are some other exercises related to this lesson. So, I hope you could do it now. Other than that, always we think of maths is focus on to exam. Is that so? Many of you are thinking that way, but it's not. Maths is something that you can have fun. This small concept even you can apply for have some fun. These days you are at home, you trying to have fun as much as possible, isn't it? Yes. So, you can use this concept to create a small game. Perhaps it could be indoor game, maybe outdoor game. But these days you are at home, sometimes with your grandparents, you can apply this concept to create some creative game. So, this is a small idea I prepared for you. It's like somewhat like the games that you play in your computers or online game, that treasure hunter game. It's a bit like that. It's not that advanced like that. Here we use the concept here we learn. We'll see what we have here. Okay, fun with mathematics. The theory or the concept we are going to use here, location of a place. Okay, this is the treasure map. Can you see the Captain Hook there? Yes. So, these are the steps to reach the treasure box. Shall we see one by one the steps that you should follow to reach the treasure box? The first thing, from the Golden Beach, 456 meters to the direction from south to east, what is the angle? That is 63 degrees to reach the Silver Waterfall. These are the things you learn in here in this lesson, location of the place of a place. So, here shall we read it again? From the Golden Beach, the distance is 456 meters to the direction. What is the angle? That is 63, starting from south to east. Then you can reach the Silver Waterfall. After then, you have to go step by step. Now you are at Silver Waterfall. Next one, then you have to move and find the sparkling tree. We'll see the direction for that. From the Silver Waterfall, 360 meters to the direction from north to east. What is the angle? 29 degrees to reach the to reach the sparkling tree. Shall you check it again? What is the distance? 360 meters. What is the direction? North to east. What is the magnitude of the angle? 29 degrees. Then you can reach sparkling tree. So, make sure you follow the steps correctly and direction should be very accurate. Otherwise, you can't find these things. Okay. So, be sure about the distance that you should walk or travel. Finally, the last step. So, now you are at where? Now you are at sparkling tree. From there onwards? Yes, from the sparkling tree, 523 meters to the direction from south to east. Angle 40 degrees. Then you can reach the treasure box. Check again. What is the distance from sparkling tree? 523 meters to the direction 40 degrees from south to east. Then you can find treasure box. We'll see this step by step. How Captain Hook reached the treasure. The first step. Now he is at Golden Beach. Can you see his ship there? Yes. Okay. What is the first step? From the Golden Beach, 456 meters to the direction from south to east, 63 degrees to reach the Silver Waterfalls. So, if he didn't make the angle very accurate, could he reach the Silver Waterfall? No, he will be lost. So, he is going to follow the steps very accurately with the correct angle and with the correct distance. We will see whether he goes to Silver Waterfall. There he goes. Now he is at Silver Waterfall. Now what? He should find the sparkling tree. We will see whether he could. Now he is at Silver Waterfall. What is the direction to sparkling tree? Yes, what is it? It is from the Silver Waterfall 360 meters to the direction north to east. The angle is 29 degrees. Then he could reach the sparkling tree. Check again the distance, 360 meters. What is the angle? 29 from north to east direction. Then he could reach the sparkling tree. Oh, he able to do that. Good. It means that he followed the direction correctly and the distance correctly. Now he is at the final stage to find the treasure. We will see the final step. Now he is at sparkling tree. What is the direction from the sparkling tree? Yes, from the sparkling tree, 523 meters to the direction 40 degrees south to east. Then he could reach treasure box. Make sure the distance 523 meters. What is the direction from south to east direction? What is the angle? That is 40 degrees. So, could he find the treasure? Of course he could, because previous steps was okay with him. He was done it correctly. He followed the steps. He followed the distance and the angles or the directions very accurately. Now he is at the final stage. This is the final step he should follow. So, whether he could find it? Yes, we will see that. Okay, this is the angle 40 degrees from south to east. He should go 523 meters. Oh, we'll see. Oh, he found the treasure. So, likewise, if you follow the steps as I told you, yes, if you have followed the steps from the beginning, learning the directions, learning the sub-directions, and how to represent the location which is not exact to a main direction or to a sub-direction, then you can lock the location with the distance. If you learn all the things, you will find the treasure like him. Yes, I know. So, these days you want to have fun more than earlier, yes, because you are not going to school, you stay at home. So, you can create such games like this to play with your friends, maybe with your parents, whoever you could find. You can create small such games, most probably indoor games, so you can have fun with maths. So, if you want to practice this more, you can watch channel NIE YouTube channel. So, practice it by watching the videos over and over, and please do the exercises. Until we meet with a maths lesson next time, be safe at home and goodbye.